Hello, everybody. I just spent an hour and a half wasting my life watching The Prodigy. Prodigy is a movie about this guy. Uh, he's like a serial killer. He has this like hand fetish. He's basically Yoshikage Kira, and he likes to chop off everyone's hands before he kills them. Now, he gets found out by the cops. The cops shoot him to death, and at the time he gets shot to death, there's this boy who's reincarnated as him, just a few minutes after he dies, and he's basically he has the mind of the killer inside of him for the rest of the movie. It's so he's about 3 years old, and he's like basically like this genius because he has this 30-year-old man's mind inside of him, and he's doing all these IQ tests with preschool teachers, and they're like, "Oh my God, your son is so smart. He's the smartest boy I've ever seen," and it's just that the whole time. For about like a half hour, basically the whole thing is just like, "Oh, your son's so smart," and we get little clips of the boy like doing like creepy things. The moment like after he does the IQ test and the teacher's talking to his mom about it, then he's on the window like with the spider, and he grabs the spider and crushes it in his hand with like this evil smile on his face. And I thought that scene was pretty good, but that's one of the only compliments I can give it, because the rest of it's just shit, because it's this 8-year-old boy trying to be scary. When you have an 8-year-old boy as the antagonist, it's not scary at all. The whole time I was watching it, the movie, I was laughing my ass off, because the kid would just stare into the mirror or like stare at his mom menacingly, and it's not scary at all because it looks like he's angry because he didn't get chicken tenders for dinner, not because he's about to kill them. It just bored the shit out of me. It was just so boring. There was really no material in the movie. It was like, it has an interesting concept, and if it was executed well, then I thought it could be a really good movie. But sadly, the only good horror movie that's come out in the last 10 years was Hereditary. And just horror films has gone to shit recently. There's a Child's Play remake in the works, and that just looks appalling. The Halloween sequel was bad. Pretty much every horror movie I've seen in the past that's came out in the past few years have just been awful. And one of the main reasons why that is because they don't have anything actually scary. They're just like, "Oh, well, this one movie did really good, and it had jump scares in it. If we put jump scares in this movie, it'll be successful." That's not how it works. Like, these dumbass like 50-year-old white dudes writing these shit movies are like, "Oh, if we put some jump scares in it, then the millennials will be scared." It's shit. It's shit. It actually makes me genuinely angry, because they label these as horror movies when they should be labeled just like action gore movies with comedy. It like the movie, it felt like it was trying to be satirical comedy the entire time, but it really wasn't. It's a satirical comedy, just disguised under this shit horror movie. and there's only about 3 scenes of actual gore. The opening scene where the girl gets her arm chopped off, this dead dog who had its paw chopped off, and the little kid slicing open the girl's whose hand got chopped off stomach open, and that scene was pretty cool. The mom was about to shoot her, but then the boy was like, do you like blue or hazel? Blue or hazel? Because he was pointing at his eyes with a knife, and then he just stabbed the girl. He's like, that's what that's what he said. That's what he said when I first met him. And then it's just shit. Like there's flies all around them when the dog's dead. Like there's just like a whole like 15 colonies of flies just decided to bombard this house because of a dead dog. I don't know if the film writers understand that's how flies work, but I guess this is also a movie with reincarnation and like wizard bullshit, so I don't care. But I don't know, I just thought that scene was bad. There were flies going from the dog in the basement to the very upstairs into the parents' bedroom. It was just so dumb because they were so loud, but there was like they were just, it was so loud in the mom's bedroom, even though there were only like 5 and it was the entire room away from them. Like it was, they were separated by 30 feet, and there were 30 feet of this shit just flowing, like 30. God damn it, stutter. There were 30 feet of air just between them, from the flies to the mom, and the flies were going the whole time. They were just there going, and like, how could they even hear that? If a fly from my tiny ass room, if a fly was on my computer screen, which is like just a foot away from me, it was on my computer screen, I wouldn't be able to hear it at all. Like I might hear like a but that's it. That's it. There's nothing. There's no sound. They just make up dumb bullshit to try and scare people, but it isn't scary at all. Because they don't understand what's actually scary. You can't just have a little like 8-year-old boy go around with a wrench beating the shit out of a little other 8-year-old boy and be like, "Oh my god, that's so scary." Because it isn't scary at all. Nothing in this movie scared me. The first jump scare made me like startled me, but that's it. It's just startled, not actual scare. It's like they have to throw in a dog. They have to throw in a dead dog to make people interested. Cause if it was just like a dead like another adult woman, then no one would give a shit. But now that there's a dog, then they're like, oh, I'm so sad for the dog. And basically what I'm just trying to say is that it did not really feel like they tried at all. The cinematography was just so boring. There were not any cool shots in the entire movie. It's just zoom in on their face and then like a pan shot into zoom in, into pan shot, into zoom in, into pan shot, and that's it. That's the whole cinematography, and it gets so boring. It just gets so boring. Nothing in this movie is interesting. I just felt like ripping into a shit film. I'll give this movie a 4 out of 10 because I liked the boy. I thought the boy was really cool. He's definitely a good actor for sure, especially for his age. He can go from maniac to innocent little boy in just a few seconds, which a lot of adult actors can't even do, which is pretty impressive. but his acting skill doesn't really do anything for the movie when there's nothing his acting skill can apply to. So I'm gonna sign off, give this movie a 3 out of 10. Good night.